taxpayers, they said, you know what? Fuck you. This isn't our debt. This isn't our mess. It's yours. And then all these fucking sellout cunts like fucking Amsterdam and Britain put all this pressure on fucking Iceland because they pussied out with the bankers. They've been on their knees sucking that banker cock for fucking ever. They tried to fucking get them to come along. They tried to pressure them, and or else we'll turn you into the Cuba of the North. And they said, fuck you. We're not doing it. And you know what? That's what this country should have done. This country should have told those banker fucking cunts. I'm beside myself that it isn't brought up more. You know? It's the whole thing. Like, I have water damage to my house. My insurance company sends a check that's made out to me, Nia, and then my mortgage company. And we have to sign the check over to them so they keep the money. And you know why that is? Because they fucked so many people so fucking hard in the ass. So many people are upside down in houses because of the bullshit that they created by making people who aren't qualified for loans qualified. So instead of having 5 people bid on a house, you got 10 people bidding on it, and it goes up like Super Bowl tickets, right? And all of a sudden, a house that's really worth $180 sells for $270. So you got these cunts. Everybody's fucking upside down in the house. So they're like, well, fuck it, I'm keeping this money. And then when they foreclose on it, they fucking come in, and they're like, fuck, they never fixed the roof. So now I have to sign over my goddamn money. It's my money. It's my insurance. That's my insurance money. I have to send it into them. You know why? Because, people, it's not my house. It's their fucking house. It's theirs. All right? And if I ever pay this fucker off, which you know I'm gonna, I drive a 6-year-old hybrid. All right? I don't give a fuck. I dress like Malcolm Young. Because I'm getting these cunts out of my life. And this is what's going to happen. I'm going to pay off this fucking house. And you think when I die, I can just give it to somebody else? It's my house, right? If I can fucking give away all my other shit, why can't I give the house? The house is going to have all taxes and all these penalties and all this bullshit. And whoever I fucking leave it to is going to be like, you know what? It's just going to be easier to sell it. And then they sell it. And whatever money they make, they get the shit taxed out of them. They get half a dick in their ass. And then somebody else buys this thing, and then the bank goes balls deep in them for another fucking 30 years. You know what? Halfway through that, I realized, am I sounding crazy or am I making sense? I don't know. I talked to a banker in a titty bar. He agreed with everything I said. I've been watching a bunch of shit on Netflix. I'm big on I like documentaries. You know, and I watched 1.5 last night before I fell asleep. I watched this thing called The Queen of Versailles, which you have to see. And it's basically about this guy, 75 years old. 75 years old. He married Miss Florida in 1993, so he's fucking balling. Has 7 kids with her, right? And he's got this, he sells timeshares, you know, which, you know, is really a shady fucking business. You know, hey, I don't know. What is it, fucking timeshare? It's a fucking overpriced hotel room, isn't it? I mean, I don't, what am I buying? If I spend all that money, I don't want to be laying in a bed that somebody else has been fucking in. I want a brand new bed, okay? That's deal number one. Because other than that, I can go lay in a bed that everybody else fucked in all year long. It's called a hotel. Right? But this guy was the biggest timeshare company in the world, according to him. And he was in the middle of building the biggest house in America, and it had 10 kitchens. There's fucking 9 people in their family. They have 1 more kitchen than they have people in their family. All right? You have to watch just to see them. I mean, it's not finished yet because in 2008 they got caught up on all the banker shit. And but you just have to see when his wife walks in with her friend, and when they walk up these stairs, I'm telling you, these fucking stairs are wider than the stairs at Grand Central Station in New York City. They go upstairs, and the fucking friend of the Miss 1993 Florida is like, you know, because they haven't like put the walls up. It's just the framing of it. She goes, oh my God. She goes, is that your bedroom? And she goes, no, it's my closet. It's But if you really want to see, okay, now a lot of people will watch the Queen of Versailles and go, look at these two selfish fucking people and all the waste and all that. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's on the fucking surface. But underneath all of it, you see a guy who doesn't want to declare bankruptcy and put that money on the American people and wants to fight his way out of it, and the bankers won't do it. Like he had a building out in fucking Vegas. He put $350 million of his own fucking money in, and now he can't make the payments. So he wants the bankers to try and, give him some of the bailout money, and they kept all of it because this is the thing. If they get him to default on that, they get to keep his $350 million and sell the fucking building all over again. And obviously this guy, he got overextended. He made the mistake of not realizing, what bankers are and what it is that they do. They're not your friends. They're not trying to help you grow your fucking business. They're trying to make every fucking dime off you as they can. And when it's over, you bust the joint out. I just started thinking about the fucking Goodfellas. Well, they start burning it down. But rather than burning the place down, it's you. The Ray Liotta and fucking Joe Pesci are fucking tying those little candle things to you. Trying to bang this fucking Jew broad over here. You can't help me out? What's the world coming to? And then you burn to the ground. That's it. But the building's still standing. And then they get some other group to go in there. And then they fuck them in the ass. I'm telling you. We should all, as civilians, you remember the ending of Scarface when they were coming over the wall? That's what we should be doing right now in gated communities, going to bankers' fucking houses. We should be dragging them out by the tassels of their fucking wingtips. New house. Dearest Billy Boy, keeping it short and sweet due to your undying hatred for reading out loud. I actually don't mind it. I hate sounding stupid. My fiance and I are moving into our first house on Friday. Any last-minute advice? Yes. Well, it's too late. You already bought a fucking house. My first thing would be drive less of a car. Wear less clothes. Everything less. And start knocking out the principal. All right? You got to start knocking that fucking thing down. And once you knock it down to a certain point, then they're going to come at you and be like, hey, do you want to refinance? You want to refinance? Look, your mortgage payment will go from $1,500 down to $1,200. That'll save you $300 a month. That's all a fucking scam. Okay? Do you really think there's somebody who works at the bank and his job, and he's sitting there going, how can this bank make less money? Oh, I know what. I mean, how long would that guy work there before he got fired? It's a scam. Because what happens is if you're like 4 or 5 years into your mortgage, they're going to refinance it, and your payment doesn't go down $300 and you're still 5 years in. It starts back at zero. All right? Now you have that payment for 30 years, and you're starting all fucking over again. So the $300 that you're saving each month, they're making more in the fucking interest in the long run because they sent you back to square one. It's all a fucking scam. I'm telling you, go to the gated communities and go over the fucking wall. Don't really do that, all right? I don't want to be held responsible for that. These are all jokes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Why would you listen to this podcast?
Here's some conspiracy theory for you. Somebody said, Bill, he wrote, they are watching. And I got trashed for talking about conspiracy theory. I've been trashed for talking about those automated checkout lines in the grocery store and saying that I'm paranoid and I'm afraid of technology and all this technology is just going to help my life and make my life more easier. And why don't you trust these big fucking corporations, basically? It's the shit that people are giving me. So after getting trashed for all, talking shit about all these corporations and actually having the audacity to think that bankers were all trying to team up and have one world bank, to become the loan sharks for not only individual, but actual countries. Okay? Which is something that I was thinking about when I was at the Rose Bowl, stone sober. And I was sitting there on the golf course, and I was looking at these houses up on the ridge of this hill that actually looked down
on the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. These people have a house that looks down on it. And I was actually envisioning that those were all bankers up there. And while the game was going on, and 104,000 people, or 96,000, whoever showed up for that game, were sitting there going fucking crazy. One of those piece of shit bankers up there could put his hand on his son's shoulder and be like, see all those people down there? They owe all of us money. They all owe me money, son. I'm getting a piece of all of their fucking paychecks. And they don't even know it. They don't even know that their daddy is looking down on them right now. Now, had I been drinking, that thought would have probably caused me to, entertain the thought of climbing up that hill and throwing a rock through one of the windows, which, of course, I wouldn't have done because even my drunkest, I am aware that I don't want to go to jail and get raped. And secondly, I'm not going to go all the way up that fucking hill. So what I would have done is I probably would have yelled at that kid with the light purple slacks. I would have commented really loud about that dude's fucking eczema flaking off into the back of his goddamn sweatshirt. So anyways, this guy sends me this email, and he says, Bill, the theys in this blog, when I say they are watching, are big business, not the Illuminati, but they are just as evil as any bank or secret society. They don't even need your signature. Listen to this shit. They don't even need your signature for these information gathering traderware programs to monitor everything from where the device is to what your heart rate is. What is traderware? That's the question I had. Your digital camera may embed metadata into photographs with camera's serial number or your location. Your printer may be incorporating a secret code on every page it prints, which could be used to identify the printer and potentially the person who used it. Now the fucking morons, the sheep out there would be like, yeah, that's in case you threaten the president. They're just doing it for the good of all people. If Apple puts a particularly creepy patent, I guess Apple's applying for this. Is it recently applied for the use you can look forward to a day when your iPhone may record your voice, take a picture of your location, record your heartbeat, and send that information back to the mothership. This is traderware, devices that act behind your back and betray your privacy. Now, this is what the moron sheep are going to be to say. Well, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, what's the problem? That's the philosophy. That was the philosophy behind why they can record your phone calls now. If you ain't doing nothing, Tasty, you. Come on, frogs. If you ain't doing nothing wrong. Do you realize how fucking dumb that mindset is? So basically, as long as you do what the people in power tell you what to do, you won't have a problem. Do you understand how dangerous that is? Do you understand how fucking stupid it is to have that level of faith in the people who rule you? You know what I mean? You haven't noticed how much power can fuck somebody over? Like, for some reason, we only seem to focus on when celebrities get famous and then they wig out and start becoming these fucking mini tyrants. For some reason, people don't feel they just have like this because they wave the flag and they play those songs that make you choked up, that they never feel like that they'll have any sort of ulterior motive for this. This is the type of technology that allows a small group of people to take over the world. Something that sociopaths have been trying to do since the beginning of time. And they were never able to do it because at some point your army would be stretched too thin. Right? The Germans, the fucking Roman Empire, all that shit. At some point, the fucking Japanese, all of them. Everybody who's ever tried to fucking do it, at some point, it gets stretched too thin. So America, what we've done is we've done the we're putting this base here to protect you thing, that brilliant thing. That's how we got our world empire. So we just have a base. Then also we have these insane weapons where we can nuke everybody. So we were able to kind of do it that way. But the problem is when you really get into sociopathic thought and just like those people who are so into power that it makes their dick hard, is they want to know, they want to be able to see everybody know what they're thinking and know what they're doing at all times. Because not only are they psychos, but with that level of power becomes this unbelievable level of paranoia. Like those people with those houses sitting on the ridge looking down into the Rose Bowl. There's a fear. Like we sit there looking up at it and go, look, they got the fucking world. There is a fear of when you attain that level of wealth of losing all of it. And you begin on this quest to quiet your mind. You want to get a level of wealth and control in your life that you are guaranteed that it will never go away in your lifetime or your kid's lifetime or your kid's kids. So basically everybody that you know and love will be okay and you will be okay. You get into that psychotic fucking mindset. And you give those kinds of people this level of fucking technology and you're going to have a problem. I think that's unbelievable that this shit is. So they have this website here, the EFF, Electronic Frontier Foundation, that is trying to fight these things being put into the tech, the cameras, the cell phones and all that shit. Like the fact that there's a tracking device in your cell phone. Like, how come we didn't get to vote on that? How come we don't get to vote on that type of stuff? I don't want people knowing where the fuck I am at all goddamn times. Okay? And I don't need you to show me, oh, we caught this fucking child molester with that. So because of that, now everybody has to be like, give me a fucking break. They always have like, there's, a handful of good examples for that level of fucking control. And then there's a zillion bad ones. So I am 100% against this shit and fucking people in the world. And when you have this kind of technology, you're gonna stop. They're gonna stop small evil. Like individual, a fucking serial rapist, which you definitely want to stop, all right? But the price we're going to pay is you're going to allow a Stalin or a Hitler, Pol Pot, whoever the fuck you want to, you're going to, with that level of technology, someone like that could get in power and run the fucking world. So, I don't know. And I totally 100% believe that. You could roll all your fucking eyes all you want. I honestly believe that. And I also believe that the reason why there's so many of us right now and that the people at the top are not fucking concerned about it is because we're all expendable. And when the waters rise up, the temperatures goes up and everything, they're not going to be the ones who are drowning. You can guarantee that they're using our taxpayer money to build some sort of something to make sure that they're okay. And I think that their bailout plan, because they know they can't stop people from fucking because it feels too goddamn good, and dicks and pussies are readily available to anyone. It's like air, So I think what they're going to gradually do is phase us out with robots and automated shit, which is why I refuse to use it. Now, how fucking crazy do I sound right now? Has there been anything funny in the last fucking 5? This is shit that I truly believe. Corporations own like the DNA of a grizzly bear. That's why they don't give a fuck that they're cutting down its habitat. They're like, I will fucking grow another one in a petri dish. We're trying to take over everything. And then wipe out, I think they're going to try to wipe out the poor and the middle class. Keep a couple of us, like a small handful of us, the way that pandas are only in like zoos at this point or some shit. I don't know. Maybe I picked the wrong fucking animal, but that's the direction I think it's going. All right? There's your first crazy rant, which was based mainly in gut feelings and a couple of emails. But I truly believe that. Dear Bill, recently I had to return some items at the mall. It was the day after the girl I was dating, with the girl that I was dating. She wanted to return some shoes. So we went to the Journey store where the shoes were bought. When she got to the counter to return the shoes, the girl behind the counter asked her for her name, address, email, and phone number. Oh, my God. The amount of fucking people who actually give out that information. My girlfriend just gave the information over as soon as the girl asked for it. We were leaving the store. I remarked that I thought it was bullshit that she had to give away personal information to return a pair of shoes. She said it was not a big deal, but I didn't like it. All right. Why the fuck would you give somebody all that information? And just in case you're new to my podcast, just say, you can say no. Can I, I go out to buy shit all the time. Can I have your phone number? No. I don't even try to make it nice. I just say no. And then they go, oh, okay. Why do you feel like you got to give them their information? You're trying to buy something. I'm sorry, I can't sell you this unless I get your information. Well, then go fuck yourself. I'll buy it somewhere else. I don't even need it anyways. So anyways, he goes, next we go to American Eagle. You guys hit all the hot spot, huh? Then we went to Cinnabon. Next we went to American Eagle, where I had to return a shirt that was a gift. There was a long line for returns. Why'd you return the shirt? Huh? Did it not fit, or was it ugly as hell, or was it both? As I was waiting in line, one of the employees comes up to me with a clipboard with a little form to fill out. Now, is anybody else kind of getting the prison? What is your name, please? Your phone number? I stopped the employee and asked her why she needed this information. And she says that it was to verify my purchase. How fucking dumb are people? You going to verify my purchase? Well, here's the sales slips there, sweetheart. This verifies it. That's it. I don't know what to tell you. Why don't you and your clipboard, why don't you hold that clipboard between your little fucking beef curtains and take a fucking walk down the street? How about that, huh, sweetheart? Sir, there's no reason to use that type of language. Go fuck yourself. Huh? How about I fucking grab that ponytail and just, no, let's keep it clean this week, shall we, people? Anyway, he goes, before I could protest further, she said that I could just put my name on it. Oh, on the clipboard? When she walked away, I pulled out the gift receipt and said to my girlfriend, oh, here it is. Yeah, this is what verifies my purchase. Exactly. The clipboard employee wasn't as far away as I thought she was and heard me say, did I read that wrong? Yeah, heard me say this, and she began to explain further why I needed to give over the information. This is the part of the email I hate. He goes, I apologized and told her I realized it wasn't her and that it was just her company's policy that she was enforcing. She walked away again. I felt bad, so the next time I saw her, I apologized and said I realized that she was just doing her job, but she ignored me. She was probably pissed because it was the day after Christmas and I was causing her grief, but you could at least accept my apology, you bitch. I love how you go from being totally liberal and seeing somebody's fucking side of it to being, yeah, man up, you cunt. Anyway, I got up to the counter and there wasn't any further problems. The guy at the register just took my name and didn't ask me for anything. I felt as though I had a small victory against the big corporations. Then this week, I had to go back to the store to return a hat my girlfriend got. Did you guys not make Christmas lists? Or are all your relatives blind? This seems to be a lot of returning of gifts. This is hilarious. You're returning a hat that your girlfriend got you. Dude, how horrific was that hat? Can you please send me a picture of it if you took one before you returned it? Picture one of those a plaid Charlie Chaplin hat. I had the receipt, but again, the girl at the register asked me for my address and phone number. I said I didn't want to give that information to her. Immediately, panic sets in on her face, and she says that I have to. I said that I didn't have to the day after Christmas, and I wasn't going to now. Good for you. She calls over a coworker, and they both get defensive and hold to the idea that I have to give over my information in order to return a stupid hat, even though I had my receipt. I asked why, and they let me slide. Why had they let me slide on this before? And they maintained that I had to give them my name, address, and phone number. So what did I do in the face of corporate opposition? I caved and I gave it to them. You fucking pussy. Dude, the second you saw the panic on their face, you knew that they were going to lose. All right? He goes, I just don't get it, Bill. Why is a receipt not enough nowadays? It is enough. They say they need our personal information to verify a purchase. They're not, dude. They're not. All right? All of that shit, all those little save, you want to get one in our discount store. They're creating a file on you. They figure out what you want to buy, what they can market towards you, and then they take that information and they sell it to other fucking
companies, even though they say they're not going to, they sell your information. Your information gets up on the internet, and that's why there's all these creepy websites out there right now that have all this fucking information about you, about, how many siblings you have, your brothers and sisters' names. They all use that information to fucking, I'm telling you. Don't give them your information. You don't have to give them your information. And people out there who just have this fucking attitude towards these corporations, just sitting there going like, well, what do they got? You mean as long as you're not doing anything wrong? I mean, what do I care if they know where I live? What do I care? Just fucking morons. I don't even, I've explained this shit till I'm blue in the face, and then I always get these emails from these people. I don't know. I can't even. I said something the other day. I was sitting there listening. I was listening to sports radio. Because I'm a deep thinker, right? And this new guy got on sports radio out here in Los Angeles, and he does what most people do when they have nothing to say, which is they just go over the top arrogant. You know what I mean? Like he was talking about how he wanted to get some sort of sports coach or personality on the show, but he doubted he could get him as a guest because the guest hated him. And he goes, because I disagreed with him on some. He was talking to a coach, and he was actually disagreeing with the fucking coach. He's disagreeing with the guy. And he goes, what the problem is, he goes like, I'm just like such a good debater. I actually end up like convincing myself of my own opinion. He actually said that over the airwaves, and I just sort of muttered to myself that the confidence of morons is staggering. You know what I mean? Morons think they know everything. That's what makes them fucking morons. And like the emails I get with people who don't question this shit, which is, I don't know, like last week when I went off on my little fucking rant there, just some of the fucking emails I get. It's like people are sending me shit that kind of is backing up what I'm saying and then telling me that I sound like I have tinfoil on my fucking head, which obviously I am out of my fucking mind on some level, but I'm not out of my mind when I don't trust corporations, and I don't trust them when they say we're not going to do anything with this information. The other day I was in CVS and I go to buy something, and the lady asked me, did I have a save card? And I said no. She said, do you want one? And I said no. And she goes, well, that's okay. And she swiped the fucking thing anyways. And I was like, lady, what did I just say to you? Now, see, if I use my credit card, they'd have my name and then to match up to that fucking number and what the hell I just bought and just a little bit more information about me. And my question to all you people who have this faith in these corporations, why does that person do that? Why are they so hell-bent on trying to make that corporation less money in that moment? They give me this card. Like everybody has those cards, so you're not saving any fucking money. It's a big fucking shell game to make it seem, ooh, look, you're saving money. What they're really doing, they're like, hey, look at this hand over here, as you're giving them all your personal fucking information. The other corporations to increase junk mail and also to limit your fucking level of privacy. The fact that they can put all that shit up on the goddamn internet. People have been sending me these random websites where they have like your name and your address, where you fucking live and all this type of shit. It's like, how do you think that they get all that information? Do you think there's somebody sitting there with a phone book and just typing all of this shit in? I don't know. I don't fucking know. What's what kills me. If some fucking random creepy guy, you're standing there waiting for the subway, came up to you, asked you what's your name, your phone number, and you're inside of a fucking store and there's socks and sweaters and somebody has a name tag, now all of a sudden you give them total fucking trust. You're out of your mind. So, sir, don't cave in. All right? All you get, just say that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. I want to speak to the manager. What they're doing, it's not legal yet. It's not legal yet, but I can guarantee you there's somebody lobbying for it. that in Washington, there's some sort of fucking high-powered lobbying group, I swear to God, is probably lobbying that from here on out, we need to have a law that if you're going to return a hat, you have to give us your name, your address, and your social security number, just so there's not another 9/11. Could guarantee it. So, yeah, you don't have to. That's actually one of the highlights of my day. What I do now is when they say, do you have our little Savey Save card? And I say, no, I don't. Would you like one? No, I don't. I then say, and please don't swipe another one. You know? And then I try to pay with cash. I love cash. Cash is fucking anonymous.